is the future of value transactions. And if you watch my videos, you probably don't, but if you do, then you know I talk about the topic of crypto writ large frequently on this channel and in general. And I know it upsets the algorithms, and they don't like this stuff very much, even though some channels do have ridiculously high amounts of views and all that, even though most of their information is garbage and they're just shilling affiliate links and other ridiculous nonsense, or products that they're selling which are usually quite garbage. But why is it then that in an ecosystem that is about 15 years old, I would think that it is going to be the future of value transactions? Well, the answer is something that may or may not surprise you. And the answer is that, very simply, crypto, especially if it's decentralized, but even some that are not, cryptographic currency, right, also known as cryptocurrencies, are in many ways far superior to legacy currencies like fiat currencies or commodities like gold and silver. Far superior, in fact. Why? Well, for one thing, if we start with actually looking at decentralized currencies like Bitcoin, a decentralized cryptocurrency, which is considered by the US to be property, although it's considered to be a form of currency in many other parts of the world already. Regardless of how your particular jurisdiction considers it, what it is a cryptographic currency. And that means, because it's decentralized and because it has very strong security due to the number of nodes that mine it and secure it, it is in many ways better because of its immutability, right? You cannot just change the Bitcoin ledger willy-nilly, right? You would have to have 51% control of the network. That's what a 51% attack is. And, well, good luck trying to get a 51% attack on Bitcoin. There basically isn't enough computer power in any country to do that. It doesn't mean there's not enough computers, but those computers aren't capable of outmaneuvering the Bitcoin network, which is powered basically at this point entirely by ASICs. What are ASICs? Right? They're application-specific integrated circuits. What does that mean? That means that they operate as single-purpose machines, and their technology is quite high for that purpose, and they don't have a whole lot of other things that they're running that eat up their memory and all this other stuff. They literally just mine Bitcoin, and in so doing, they secure the Bitcoin network. What does that mean for you? That means that for you, effectively, the Bitcoin network is immutable. It is on a public ledger, unlike the dollar, which is entirely fungible in many ways. Right? Dollars are extremely untrackable, even if they have serial numbers on them. When they're in circulation, they're extremely difficult to track. And that's why so many ne'er-do-wells or criminals like to use the dollar and other fiat currencies, right? Because they're not tracked on the public ledger. somebody gives you $1 million in cash or whatever, and it's not written in some ledger that's, triple verified and secured and all that other stuff, how can you know what happened to that money? You have to do all kinds of other forensic examinations. It's quite costly and time consuming, and you may never indeed get to the bottom of it, because that money may be redistributed in whole or in part to any other number of parties, or wallets, or safes, or whatever, right? So the point is, cash and coins are really not very trackable at all, especially coins, but cash paper money as well. Sure, again, they may have serial numbers on them, but that doesn't mean they're always well tracked. And there are other things. Fiat does not usually have a limited supply. They do not have a max supply. Whenever the central banks or the Federal Reserve needs more fiat, because the government that it works with has said it needs more fiat, those central banks or that Federal Reserve just pushes a button and poof, there's more money on their electronic ledger, and they may print as much of it as they want as paper money and coins, and then they distribute it to very wealthy parties that are usually their friends, their connections, their alliances, influential people that have a lot, and they feel that they can distribute to them and trust that they will repay anything like loans or whatever. But it doesn't get down to the people, the average people, usually, right? When you have an event where the government sends money to the people, you'll notice what a drama storm that causes, right? If you remember 2020, when the U.S. sent cash to everybody for the pandemic payment, right? It caused like political craziness because, oh no, now the rich people are giving money to the regular people? Heavens no, right? Clutch their pearls, those rich people will. We can't afford that. Oh yeah? You can't afford to give a couple trillion to the regular folks once, but you can afford to give yourself tax write-off after tax write-off worth trillions each time and pretend like that's okay? And that's literally what they do? Oh no, but we can be trusted to pay those loans back. Oh really? Because last I checked, there's plenty of really wealthy people who engage in financial fraud. Right? In fact, there's a case about that just got tried not long ago in New York, if I remember, with a certain person who may or may not have been, yes he was, a past president, right? And there are plenty of others like that. Plenty of other people who commit financial fraud. In fact, there was a case that just wrapped up yesterday with a sentencing of 25 years for Sam Bankman-Fried, the co-founder or the founder of FTX and Alameda Research. And he got locked up for 25 years for financial fraud in the amount of $8 billion. So tell me again why wealthy people can be trusted more than the average working Joe who gets up every day and goes to his average job and does his work and gets his average wage. You can't, because it's not true. There is no higher or lower percentage on average of fraud among regular people than there is. Anyway, I know, long video, whatever. I'm in the midst of something, and that's what happens sometimes. Any case, I'll see you nuggets later. Have a great day and good times.